Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for I Hate Facebook. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, where it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. But this is for, like I said, I Hate Facebook, who had a list of what he considered the top 10 mentors or father figures in movies and media. This is his top 10 he wanted to give my reaction to his list. Which I find this kind of random stuff interesting as well. It makes things a bit different, makes things a bit unique. And I think that's very cool. Because, I had one person comment, well, these seem oddly specific. I'm like, that's cool. It makes it a bit unique and a bit different. And I have no issues with that. If people want to request that type of stuff, please feel free. My PayPal, Patreon, both links down below. Feel free. But this is top 10, going from 10 to 1. I'll go through them quick, then I'll go back to 10. 10, again, these are not fathers, but father figures or mentors. Top 10 from movies. Movies in general. 10, Alfred from Batman. 9, Whistler from Blade. 8, Charles Xavier from X-Men. 7, Ben and Aunt May from Spider-Man. 6, Morpheus from Matrix. 5, Mickey, the trainer from Rocky. 4, Doc Brown, Back to the Future. 3, Splinter from Ninja Turtles. 2, Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. And 1, Principal Joe Clark of Lean On Me. It's a good list. I really don't know what my list would be, because I never really thought of it. I mean, again, it's not someone who's related to the person. It's someone who is looked as a father figure type. Alfred, Batman, I understand that. It's a good choice. A lot of the Alfreds in the movies have been well played. Michael Gough in Batman and Batman Returns. Well, he's also there in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Nice old man who was compassionate to Bruce Wayne. I mean, even Jeremy Irons did a good job with Ben Affleck. I mean, if they had their own movie together, that would have been cool, but no, we couldn't have that. Alfred is a good choice. 9, Whistler. Chris Christopherson did a wonderful job in Blade and Blade 2. Actually, love what they did with him in Blade 2, because they bring him back to life. I still not sure how he's alive, because he shot himself, but I guess he didn't shoot himself, and somebody was alive. It's still a bit... They try to explain it, but I was still a bit confused on it. But I did like Chris Christopherson. In Blade 2, I thought he was really cool. Because at first, Blade's like, I don't know if I should trust Whistler, but yet Whistler... Trissler. What the hell is Trissler? Whistler's the guy to trust. And he was Blade's backup. And I thought he did a great job in that at Blade 2. Trying to walk, you fucking nipplehead. Calling Ron Perlman nipplehead. And he gets his moments to shine. He's a guy who will defend Blade, help out however he can, cared for him, gave him the weapons, gave him the morale. What they did with him, Blade Trinity, was so stupid. That entire fucking movie is so stupid. Fuck Blade Trinity. Blade Trinity is one of the worst Part 3s out there. Along with Alien 3. See? I tell my Blade Trinity, I'm like... Fucking chest is ready to cave in. I'm ready to puke. Get off Blade Trinity. Fucking Blade Trinity give me the hiccups. Fucking hell. Fuck Blade Trinity. Fucking Blade Trinity. Trying to poison my ass. But Whistler, that's a great choice. I agree with that. 8, Xavier. I understand that. Patrick Stewart, which I guess will be in the new Doctor Strange, because you hear his voice. You get the idea that when Doctor Strange is in his handcuffs and someone says, "We need to tell him the truth," sounds like Patrick Stewart. So I guess Xavier's coming back for the new Doctor Strange movie. Ooh, whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't care. But, I mean, Patrick Stewart did a good job in the role. And X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men 3, even Logan, he was he seemed like he cared for his students. You understood why the X-Men looked to him for answers. He seemed wise, he seemed kind. Xavier's a good choice. 7, Ben and Aunt May. I mean, I don't know about Ben, because he's not featured a lot in the movies. Like, he's featured, but about as much as, say, Superman's parents and, Superman the movie. Mom, Pa Kent. You were here for a reason. It's not just to score touchdowns. I'd probably put that Pa Kent over Ben Parker. But Aunt May, I mean, Aunt May and the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, she was well cast. I thought they did a good job with that. Sally Field was there in Amazing Spider-Man, but she didn't seem like she had much to do in those movies, honestly. And then Marissa Tomei in the new one just seemed like more like Tom Holland's sister than his aunt. I don't know, just older sister, I should say. Older sister. I mean, I would put Xavier and Whistler and Alfred above Aunt May and Ben. Like, if I had to work with this list, I would say they would be number 10 for me. Like, if this is the list you gave me how to rank them, I would put 10 Ben and Aunt May. And then... I have to think about it, but... 6, Morpheus, great choice. In retrospect, Lawrence Fishburne, I'm glad you were not in Matrix 4. You don't need that shit. The new Morpheus they got was dog crap. Was BS. But Morpheus, he was so adamant about the one. He was so trusting about this vision and supportive of Keanu Reeves' character of Neo. And teaching him what to do, what not to do. Especially in the first Matrix. They did a good job with that, Morpheus. He deserves to be on the list. Number 5, Mickey. Yeah, I mean, as a mentor, yeah, he's definitely memorable. But, I mean, I'm a big Rocky fan. At least the first 6 or so. And when Mickey was there, Burgess Meredith did a wonderful job. Thunder and grease lightning and all the weird things that he made Rocky do. I feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot. You don't touch that chicken, you don't like it. Hey, Mickey, I want to use my other arm. You use it, I cut it off. He was tough. But he was tough because he loved him. He was tough because he cared for him. Like in Rocky 2, he was tough. He can't do it because he doesn't want the guy to go blind. In Rocky 3, he cared for Rocky. He gave him easy matches. Not set up, like he did win legitimately, but easier fighters because he cared for Rocky. He was a father figure that... Even Rocky 5, that was a good moment where... Yeah, that flashback. It was a nice final moment for Burgess Meredith to shine. Get up, you son of a bitch. Just Mickey loves you. People say that's sentimental or corny, but I thought for the scene it worked well. And it was a nice send-off for Burgess Meredith. So Mickey is definitely... It would be in my top 5 easily. Doc Brown, definitely a good choice. Christopher Lloyd, employ that character very well with a sense of there was humor, but there was, I don't want to say innocence, but there was, he didn't fit the social norms and a normalcy. Like him trying to talk to a girl in Back to the Future Part 3. But at the same time, I mean, it's weird to say mentor and father figure because I guess the most you saw in that was the sequel, the second film. Because in the first film, it was more Lloyd doesn't know who the hell this Marty is, and he's kind of just, okay, I'll listen to you, but they're kind of like like sidekicks to each other. And in the third film, they're separated for a bit. At least I'm not talking about the 50s Doc Brown, but the Doc Brown from his timeline. And then he's off sort of doing his own thing with the love story. So there's not a lot of mentor father figure moments. So again, I guess I never thought of Doc Brown. Now that I say he's a good choice because I like the character, but now that I think about it, is he really a mentor and a father figure? I mean, I guess he is. You know, Michael J. Fox's character really cares for him because he was him a good friend. Mentor, I guess, in the intricacies of time travel, yes, that could work. I'm just fine with them being on the list because I like the characters. Just one of Christopher Lloyd's best characters. Especially, I'm more a fan of the first two Back to the Future. The third one I'm kind of meh on. I'm so-so on Back to the Future Part 3. I never loved it like other people did. I always thought it was meh. But I much prefer the first two. But he definitely brought a great exuberance and excitement to that role. So, and that was infectious. Number 3, Splinter. I mean, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. Of course, Splinter is a great pick to me. I mean, in that first 1990 movie, where he has that little heart-to-heart talk with Raphael, I thought that was a sweet moment. Or when they see his vision, the campfire, and he tells how much he's proud of them. I still wish, in retrospect, as much as I love that film, I think it would have been better if Raphael was the one to get Splinter. As kind of a full circle from the beginning, where Splinter came to Raphael, like, you know, soothe him. He didn't go to him, but I mean, just this sort of a pay it forward where Raphael goes to save Splinter. I think that would have worked out better. And I love Casey Jones, I love Elias Koteas, but I think Raphael should have done that. That's just my opinion on it. But yeah, I love the design of that Splinter in the first two movies. I think Kevin Clash did a good job voicing the character. I don't know about him as a human being, because I've heard some weird things about, I don't know if they're true or not, about Kevin Clash. But as a voice, I think he did a good job. Again, the work by Jim Henson and their company. Mr. Miyagi, of course. That's definitely a big mentor, father figure. And so many people have asked me about Cobra Kai. Listen, I will not accept any paid requests to do Cobra Kai. I'll do it for a lot of other stuff, but Cobra Kai's not for me. I know I'm alone. I'm the only person in the universe. I'm sorry, but I'm not a Cobra Kai guy. I saw the first season. I didn't care for it. I didn't like the new characters. I didn't like how Daniel was, all these years, all he could do is be a fucking used car salesman. I thought that was really lame. I don't give a shit about Johnny's character. I think he worked in the first film as a villain. That maybe there's a little bit of giving respect to Daniel. That's all I needed from Johnny. I'm sorry, that's all I needed from the character. And also, you don't have Mr. Miyagi because he passed away. To me, it's not Karate Kid without Mr. Miyagi. It's just not. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work to me. And I don't give a shit about these new characters. I don't care. I just don't. I'm sorry. You throw as many references to the movies. If I want references to the movies, I'll watch the movies. So, I'm sorry. You should keep Cobra Kai. I don't give a shit about Cobra. Yeah, I saw the first season. That was enough for me. But I like Mr. Miyagi. I miss Pat Morita. I think he did a wonderful job. And the thing is that he didn't really talk like that. He was an actor. If you watch TV shows like Happy Days, or you watch other movies, it's like, no, he talked very different from that. And he really got into that role, but did not make it, in my opinion, was not a stereotype, wasn't a caricature. It still made it human, enjoyable, with his sense of humor, his weird way of teaching, paint the fence. Nah, no, yeah. And that's one of those dynamics of that made Karate Kid 1 and 2 work. And to me, I don't mind the fourth one for what it was. It was there with Hilary Swank. The third one is god-awful. But the first two, what made those work, one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons is Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, and the way they interacted with each other. And the fact you can't have that anymore. To me, a lot of that magic is gone. And then this whole, well, Daniel, let's sympathize for Johnny, and fuck all that shit. Seriously. But, yeah, like Karate Kid Part 2 is my favorite. I like the first Karate Kid, but I think Karate Kid Part 2, I imagine that scene with Daniel trying to be there for Miyagi while they're watching the sun. This is after Mr. Miyagi's father has passed away. And they're sitting next to each other, and that to me is a wonderful, beautiful moment between those two characters. And it's like, you know, all the things Mr. Miyagi did for him, finally Daniel can do something for Miyagi. It showed Daniel growing as a character. I mean, the fact he grew up to be a used car salesman, still doing the same bullshit in high school, worrying about this stupid fucking shit when he's in his 50s. To me, that's fucking... I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. That's fucking sad and pathetic that Daniel, after all the shit he's been through, is still worrying about what happened in fucking high school and high school bullshit from the fucking 80s, and then, obviously because they're fucking kids are involved. But it's like, this is shit that was hashed out decades ago. Grow the fuck up and move the fuck on. That's what it makes me think. Like, you're still complaining about shit from high school. Fuck Cobra Kai. This is shit that you guys dealt with in high school. Move the fuck on. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is my weird thought process on it. And I will not watch the rest of it. I have no interest. But yeah, Mr. Miyagi is a great mentor. I agree with that. And then number 1, Principal Joe Clark, Lean on Me. That's the film with Morgan Freeman. I remember it being a decent film. I remember Morgan Freeman doing a really good job with that role. I mean, I didn't grow up as much with Lean on Me as other people did. I do think it's a decent movie. And like I said, Morgan Freeman, his principal was very tough and very strict. But you also got the reason why he was being tough and strict because of that. He really wants these kids to succeed. And, you know, other people try to pamper too much. The guy I would have on this list, now that I think about it, is Colonel Troutman from Rambo. Especially in Rambo 3. Because as much as people want to mock it, I liked his speech in Rambo 3 about going full circle. And that's the interesting thing when you watch those 3 movies. In the first one, he's kind of the outsider, but he knows him from the past, bring him in. In the second film, the kind of maybe, you know, they're on the same side. And on the third film, they're very much like a buddy. Like you literally and physically see that progression where in the First Blood they're pretty much they talked on a radio, except at the very end. In the second film, they're still separated, but at the same time, you know, at the beginning they speak man to man, at the end they speak man to man, and in the third film they're much more together. And I don't think they did that on purpose, but it's nice to see that progression. And I think Colonel Troutman, especially in Rambo 3, was a nice father figure to Rambo's character. So I think, like, for me, I would put Colonel Troutman on the list. That's hard to think of. I'm surprised there's no, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda, since, you know, Star Wars is very popular. I'm looking around my room, like, any, like, not fathers, but father figures or mentors. Again, that is tough. It's not really something I think about a lot. It's not something that really comes to mind a lot. I'm just trying to think of, like, a bunch of random shows now. Like, maybe some people who really like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they would see someone like Giles. Maybe they put him on the list, or some of these other TV shows. If they didn't fuck up the show, John Rhys Davies and from Sliders would have been a good choice, but they fucked that TV show up after, like, the, I don't know, second or third season. They really fucked that show up. He wasn't really a mentor, but I really like Dean Stockwell from Quantum Leap. He wasn't really a father figure. He was more like a compadre, trying to help Sam Beckett. I don't know who would be on my list. But I said it's a good list. I mean, Principal Joe Clark, again, because I didn't grow up with that movie as much as other people did, wouldn't be my number one. If I'm looking at this list, Mr. Miyagi or Mitty from Rock, maybe Mr. Miyagi would be up there. Like Miyagi, Splinter, Mitty, those are definitely higher ups. Again, for me, Colonel Troutman. Again, I'm trying to think. That's why I'm like going. My eyes are going through all these DVDs. Or I leave it up to the viewer. Like, what would your choice for father figures and mentors be? But yeah, definitely an interesting list. A lot of good choices on there. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.